Hi everyone, I'm recording this video to go through my solutions to homework 1. Okay, and the first part is the bubble sort. And for the bubble sort, and remember you want to implement the bubble sort using the pseudocode I provided. And that bubble sort, that version of bubble sort is weird. But anyhow, that is the bubble sort we can get from our textbook. So the tricky part is number one, we are doing the textbook use one base index, but we are using zero base indexes when we are coding Python. And number two, for the inner part, well, the inner iteration, we are going from the right side, which is the end of the list, and all the way down to the index I. So you want to pay attention to those two things. And especially for this part, since we are going down, we are going from the very end of the list, and then we go down by one, we go down by one. And to create such a range, you do have to use the trick of you specify the first, which is the beginning start point, and then the end point, and -1 will be the step size. Okay, and then if those two values, aj is smaller than aj minus 1, and then you want to do a swap. To do the swap, one of the quick thing in Python you can do is like this. So value a and value b equals value b, value a. Well, and this is the easy trick for you to swap two values. And well, this is just for the definition of the bubble sort function. And after that, you want to load all the open this file and then load all the values into a list. And you have to cast all the values into an integer before you do the sort. So you do the sort, and after that, you also want to write that into a output file. And when you're doing the output, and remember, you have to cast the value into strings. And for each value, you have to add a \n, saying this will be a one extra line break. Otherwise, Python won't do line breaks automatically. Okay, so this is for the first question. And for the second question, we are doing recursions to generate a sequence of zeros and ones using a specified length as 4. So well, this is a recursive function. So we have the current version of the string, and we are growing this string from an empty string, and then we expand this string, either adding a 0 or adding 1, and then we keep on expanding, and where do we stop? We stop when the current length is equals the target length. Well, say in this case, well, we start from the target length to be 4, and then the current length is 0. But as we grow this string, when we hit the current length is 4, and then we want to stop. So when we already reach this part, and then we want to check how many ones we have, how many zeros we have, and if there are more ones than zeros, we want to do a print. So for this part, this is the base case, or the condition we want to stop to do further recursions. And otherwise, if we are not at the stop point or the base case yet, and then we want to do recursive calls. And in this case, there are two recursive calls. We either add a 0 or we add a 1. And then how do we do those recursions? So for the first parameter, we are either adding a 0 or adding a 1 to the very end. And after that, the target length not change. And for the current length, well, increased by 1. It doesn't matter we added 0 or we added 1. And in the first case, 1 counter doesn't change, but 0 counter increased by 1. In the second case, 1 counter increased by 1 and 0 counter the same. Okay, so well, as you can see, there are only 6 lines of code, right? So this is the cool thing about the recursion. Sometimes you just write very small amount of the lines of code, and then you find your work is already done. Well, I'm not saying doing recursion is easy, because probably for some of you, figuring out this version of the solution takes, well, a long time. Well, I understand that, but this is the knowledge I expect you to be able to represent your competence even before coming to this class. Okay, so that's my solution for the homework 1, and see you.